Hey everybody! So I am now 25 weeks today actually. Um, and oh my word, I can't remember if I'm now 6 months or if I'm just in my 6th month, but I think I'm maybe this week or next week is the official 6 month mark, which is just so crazy because like I find the first trimester goes by really fast. You don't even know you're pregnant for a big chunk of it. So, and then the second trimester I find long, and then the third trimester seems to be short because you're kind of like countdown, and I never make it to 40 weeks anyway, so it's actually quite short. Anywho, but still yet to think that I'm 6 months, it's even though I feel like I've been pregnant a long time, crazy. This week I went and saw the fetal medicine specialist, and oh my goodness, another great group of people. Big news is I finally got to find out that the baby is good. The baby is healthy. It was a long in-depth scan of the brain, the kidneys, the heart, and of course the renal tract is a huge thing for me because both of my boys had issues. They look fine. The whole thing looks fine. The brain looks fine, which is wonderful. Everyone wants to hear that. And the heart too. Like those are two very important components of the human body. And so they look good. They wanted to see the blood flow through my groin. I've never had that before, but I guess with any suggestive problems with blood pressure, they want to see the blood going through that part of my body, and it's fine. It's perfectly fine. So she said because the blood through my groin is good and the placenta and the stuff, everything with the umbilical cord looked good, she said that the odds of having any placenta tear and has gone down greatly, and even the threat of preeclampsia now has gone down greatly. So that's wonderful. Nothing looked worrisome at all. But because they still are not certain about, is my blood pressure just high in the office, or is it gestational, or is it me just normal, like chronic? Because they don't know, they're not taking any chances basically. I personally trying to explain to them that my blood pressure is really, really sensitive. If I'm in pain, if I have Advil or ibuprofen, decongestants, stress, anxiety, anything like that, and it spikes it up high, and high where it's questionable. But at peace and under perfect situations, my blood pressure is fine. So that's why they have issues with the blood pressure medication, because it could potentially just drop me. The medication that I'm on currently is a very low dose, and they say that it's barely going to affect it. But each time that I've gone into my GP, or not GP, the maternity doctor, and now this specialist office, it's been 130/80, which is really good for me. And I know that the medication must be doing something because I still feel like I just get that instinct of, oh my goodness, they're taking my blood pressure, and that of adrenaline and anxiety about it. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be high, it's going to be high. And it's not, it's good. So I think that just goes right in line with my sense of the blood pressure, that it doesn't take much to lower it either, because it shouldn't be dropping it. Like say if it's always 140/90, it shouldn't drop it to that, like the amount that I'm on. And because in the amount that I'm on, it only lasts, like the pill I'm on only lasts for 12 hours, and normally it's given twice a day. It's only given once. So really it shouldn't be doing much at all for me, but it is. So I think that just goes, like I said, my blood pressure sensitive, so I can be dropped easily too. And at home I've taken it, and just once, and after 5 minutes of taking it on and off, kind of distracted myself with television, it was like 120/80. So, and that was, so if the pill lasts 12 hours, it was 13.5 hours after taking it. So, and then I got to find out too that the baby is dating very appropriately, like bang on. I was 24 weeks and 3 days, and the baby's, when I size it, it's 24 in 1 day. So right on, because their measurements, they're not 100%. So I was happy to hear that, because I do have this fear of delivering a 9, 10 plus pound baby. Both my sister-in-laws did. They both had kids that were 9, 10 plus. One of my friends delivered a baby that was 10, 15, like just almost 11 pounds, and she did it vaginally and naturally, and just, you pop out a 3-month baby out of there, and oh, that scares me. So I'm like, I'm scared of it. And my husband and I are not small people. Like, I'm 5'7" and he's 6'4". So granted, you have longer children, but because we have in the gene pools to have evidently 3-month babies, it scares me. But it's as of now, it's not. And it's good, because if it was a larger size baby, there'd be more concern about gestational diabetes. And if it was a smaller size baby, there'd be concern about the blood pressure affecting the baby. So I'm right on target. So that is wonderful. And I got to use that information with my mother the other day. Talked to her on the phone, and she made a comment I'm really big this time around, and basically suggesting that my due date's off and I'm further along than what I am. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, this is what it's like with a third pregnancy. Like, you often show bigger. And I'm like, and I just had an ultrasound done yesterday, and the baby's measuring right on the dot. So I'm not huge, for Pete's sakes, and it's not like I look like I'm 8 months when I'm only 6, but I'm happy I had the ultrasound so I could just say to her, no worries there. Another thing that happened this week is the tummy bug came to our home. So we had the flu 2 weeks ago, had 1 week off, and then the tummy bug came. Thankfully, it was a short one. One of the kids I babysit had it on a morning where he wasn't here. And then by that midday, the other girl that I care for threw up. And then at 10:30 at night, Phoenix threw up in bed. They all just vomited once. The adults, it seemed to linger for about 2 days. So it was like, come on. Yesterday I disinfected the house all over again from top to bottom. I almost went through like a whole entire large container of Clorox wipes from Costco. And just, again, cleaned everything, any surface that you touched. And it's just exhausting, but it's needed. And then, I feel so bad for the baby, because for 2 days, once again, I could only have ginger ale, chicken noodle soup, and potato chips. Just salt, starch, very simple carbohydrates, and juice, or like ginger ale. So sugar and water. So I feel so bad, because I had so much of that in my first 5 months. And then I got the flu, and then I get the tummy bug. And I'm like, this poor child is going to be only by the grace of God that they come out nourished and healthy. No matter how much you change your toothbrushes and how much you disinfect and hand sanitizer everywhere, it just seems to keep coming. And I don't know if it's because, probably Zayden's in school. My husband works with teenagers. I take in children, if we're just getting it off from all fronts. But anyways, enough of that. I will show you the tummy. I don't know if there's been a ton of change. Maybe a little bit bigger. Definitely see it more in the front. You can see the big round belly. Other side. There's my 25-week belly. I feel like I'm getting larger up here than before. Still no stretch marks. We'll see what happens, but they'll come, I guess, if they come.